But to the issue of Iran, yep, as long as I'm President of the United States, Iran will not get a nuclear weapon. I made that clear when I came into office.
Well, President Obama may have promised to keep Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, but new evidence suggests leaders there have taken another big step toward building one. The Associated Press obtaining a diagram showing an Iranian simulation of a nuclear bomb blast with 3 times the force of the one that destroyed Hiroshima and helped end World War II. Iran still maintains it's using its nuclear program just for peaceful purposes, but last year the UN's watchdog uncovered other Iranian diagrams. Those showed the nuclear explosive yield of potential weapons. Well, voting is now underway for Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And guess who made the cut? Sandra Fluke. Remember, she's the former Georgetown law student turned Democratic National Convention speaker who argued that paying for birth control is a financial hardship for female students.
Without insurance coverage, contraception, as you know, can cost a woman over $3,000 during law school. For a lot of students who, like me, are on public interest scholarships, that's practically an entire summer's salary.
I became more aware than ever that this election will decide whether the rights that generations of women have fought for will be rolled back.
During this campaign, we've heard about 2 profoundly different futures that could await women in this country, and how one of those futures looks like an offensive, obsolete relic of our past.
Joining me now, Leslie Marshall, who's a syndicated radio talk show host and a Fox News contributor, and Lars Larson, who is a syndicated radio host with Compass Media Networks. So you got JFK, who was Person of the Year with Time. You got Gandhi, and maybe now Sandra Fluke. Your thoughts on that, Lars?
No. JFK, who said, ask not what your country can do for you. And now we've got Sandra Fluke saying, my country can buy me birth control for 3 years of law school at Georgetown, of all places. And you know why she picked that school? To send political messages. I'm sure that even the doctor's wife, Leslie, can't explain how Sandra Fluke could manage to spend $80 or $100 a month on birth control. It's absurd. And the idea that somewhere in the Constitution, Megan, you went to law school, did they teach that class where there's that constitutional provision that guarantees free birth control at the taxpayer's expense?
I'll tell you this.
I didn't go to law school and I must have missed that one.
When I went to law school at Albany Law School, the average starting salary was not $260,000 a graduate like it is for graduates out of Georgetown Law School. Now, she's a public interest student, but you know, she was arguing on behalf of all students there. Leslie, is this appropriate?
I think it's appropriate to have her on the list. Do I think that
Why?
she should win? No. I think it's appropriate because I think all the people that have been on the list in the past. Now, I'm looking at some of the names, Jay-Z and Jon Stewart. I'm still confused as to what they've done as a contribution to their society.
How do you get on the list? How is Jay-Z on there? I mean, Jon Stewart is a very funny man, but what is he doing on there?
Come on, Megan, he impregnated Beyonce, but I know a lot of guys that would line up for that task.
I think you mean Jay-Z now. We're off of Jon Stewart, aren't we? Because that would be significant
No,
news.
Jay-Z, yes. No. Jay-Z, let's not start a new rumor. Jay-Z, his wife, Beyonce. No, Sandra Fluke started a conversation that really had, in a sense, been put back in the closet, if you will, in America, and that's regarding women's reproductive rights, the rights of women and where tax dollars should and shouldn't go. And she also did this, putting herself out there as a target, as we know, for right-wing talk show host, etc. And that, I feel, she did make a contribution to society within women's rights. Certainly we see how many women voted. She made a contribution. And I think a lot of women actually came together, both left and right, over this very issue. Do I think she should win?
Megan.
No, Malala, that little girl has my vote. But I do think she's appropriate.
Lars, what of it? Because many women actually felt that Sandra Fluke was not representative of what women value and how they feel about society. And you know, there was a tone in a lot of her remarks that was akin to that of a victim, and you know, maybe she is a victim, but there was controversy about it.
No, she is a poster child for the Santa Claus presidency of Barack Obama, the food stamp presidency of Barack Obama, the everything you want the government will give to you. And by the way, Megan, I'm sure in Albany Law School they covered the Second Amendment. Based on the right to bear arms, I think the government should have a program to buy us all pistols and rifles based on the Sandra Fluck logic. Come on, Leslie, this is crazy. Women have rights to control their bodies. Fine. The government has the right to prohibit, at some point when we get rid of Roe v. Wade, the extermination of baby children, you know, including girls because of gender selection abortion and the like. And the idea that some elite person like Sandra Fluck going to an expensive elite law school like Georgetown, who, as Megan pointed out, can go out and make $250,000 walking out the door. The fact that she plans to throw it away by saying, I'm going to go out and do public interest law, that's her choice. But her choice should also be, if you want birth control, head on down to Walmart or Kmart or Target and buy it for $10 a month.
Well, that's the program she signed up for, public interest law. That commitment means you're not going to be taking on that kind of dough once you leave because of the law you'll practice. But she was speaking on behalf of all the Georgetown Law School students. Leslie, you know, also on the list and apparently among the leaders right now for Person of the Year is little Malala Yousafzai over in Pakistan, the little now 15-year-old girl, but she was 11 when she first started journaling about her desire just to be educated, and then she got shot in the head twice when she was 14 by the Taliban that would not have it. Now, you tell me, I mean, does time cheapen its award by having, with all due respect to Ms. Fluck and what she stands for, but by even having, you know, Jay-Z and Sandra Fluck and Jon Stewart on the same list as that little girl?
Well, I honestly think that Sandra Fluck is in a very different category than certainly Jay-Z and Jon Stewart. And I would agree with you. People like Jay-Z and Jon Stewart should not be on that list. And we have to remember in the past, Adolf Hitler has been Times Man of the Year. This little girl has my vote. And she has my vote because she not only exhibited bravery, she definitely started a conversation not only in her country but throughout the world, but reminded the world of the violence and oppression in speaking out against peace, especially if you are a female. And she did it anyway. And she definitely has my vote. Absolute. I don't have that kind of bravery.
I'm with you.
She's amazing.
I'm with you.
She's amazing.
And time has a real opportunity here to bring more attention to little Malala's story and what she has fought for, the courage that so many international leaders failed to exhibit. She did. Guys, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.